Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another random Friday video that has nothing to do with The Sims. We're actually going to take a look at my bullet journal that I've been rambling and boasting about for the last month. I want to show you kind of the setup, the concept, and then go through my January month setup, and then also show you what I've done for February and the first week of planning for February. So I'm kind of excited about this. I hope you guys enjoy it, and most of all, I hope I inspire you guys to attempt one of your own. Bullet journals are pretty fun. They are a hybrid between a planner, a scrapbook, a tracker, and a journal, and a little bit more. You can keep your memories, you can track your weight, your food intake, anything. So let's just dive right into it and get started, and I'll show you what I mean. So bullet journals, this particular journal I have is called Lectrum, and I'm probably completely butchering it. But I set up a theme for my entire journal, and it's all butterflies. This is kind of the theme of Jason and I's union. We had butterflies. It just symbolizes change, a positive change for us. But most people have a key on the inside. I actually put mine on cardstock, and you'll see that when you flip it over, you have all the keys for all the things you could find in there, especially for my work planner. I have a couple of things diagrammed out here, like research, ideas in progress, meetings, agendas. I do have a weather key, but I don't necessarily use it, and probably will get rid of it for next year. But what I like about the Lectrum, it's probably one of the most used bullet journals out there. You can see that I have my personal info underneath the sticky, so if I ever lose it, someone could find it and just let me know. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But what I like about the Lectrum is that they have some solid indexing in there, and you'll see what it's useful for in a second. What I've done in my index is just literally lined out all of the collections and spreads that I have in there. So collections are things that you are tracking, things that you are keeping up on throughout the year. And a lot of people have collections like all the books that they want to read, all the goals that they want to complete, maybe a wish list, maybe all the movies they want to watch, maybe it's losing weight, maybe it's, different things like that. You'll see what my collections are in a little bit, but I just wanted you guys to see how I outlined my stuff. I don't have a lot of collections, and what a spread is when you can have a collection that's one page, or a collection that's two spreads or 2 pages, which is a spread. Oh look, I also have a recipe index that I need to fill in. I only have one recipe lined out there. People started off with a cover page. I did. This is my cover page. I drew this butterfly, and it has the quote that I'm holding near and dear to my heart this year. She believed she could, so she did. And it is by R.S. Gray. This is one of my Sims video that I mentioned a few months back, where my boss gave us presents for Christmas, and she gave us a bracelet that has this quote. As a matter of fact, let me go show you guys. Here it is. Isn't it cute? She believed she could, so she did. This is a present that my boss gave all of us girls in our team, and it is the theme of my year. So it's really important to think about things that will encourage you and plop them into your book, because believe it or not, especially in your down days, when you take a look at your goals and your quotes, it gives you an extra pep in your step that you didn't think was going to be there. Washi tape is fun. I love washi, and you don't have to necessarily use it in your bullet journal, but it's there if you want. So at the beginning of the bullet journals usually have the whole calendar laid out, and you don't have to necessarily handwrite it. You can get these stickers. I bought these in Amazon, and I use them in some of my weekly planner spreads. I like the handwritten feel, so my year look is handwritten. It took me a long time to do, but it's fun, and it's kind of therapeutic when you look at your spread and you're like, oh, that's really pretty, and the color scheme and everything. So you can see butterflies strewn about on this spread. And then there's a future log. This is what I use to keep track of all of the birthdays, holidays, major events, vacations that are happening this year. Not necessarily writing War and Peace here, but the thought process with this bullet journal is it's a funnel system. So you take a look at your whole year and you don't plan out all 52 weeks at once. You do it every week. You plan out the week ahead. So when you plan out the month ahead or the week ahead, you can look at your future log and you can then start jotting down things that you are looking towards for that week. And so forth. So you don't have to write everything down or plan everything out, but you know, it's good to have. This is my coworker spread. It's just birthdays and anniversaries, and then I have a wish list and a weight tracker, which I started weighing myself in January and started this wellness thing this year. And I really like this quote. It says, "Look in the mirror, that's your competition," by Justin Bryant, and it is so true. Holding myself accountable via the bullet journal is a very healthy process for me. Social media, it's really neat to see. I started my Instagram. It's just for my bullet journal, and seeing that I have 88 followers already is so inspiring and encouraging. And then what you get to do is you get to plan out your month. And what a lot of people do for their months is they think of themes. And my theme for January is penguins. I know I'm pointing to the butterfly because I wanted you guys to see that this work was not an original. It was inspired by somebody on Pinterest, and I halved her butterfly and drew it on my page. But anyway, my theme for January is penguins, and it's cold outside, and this is what reminded me. I wanted something cuddly and cute for January, and penguins it is. So I'm not the best at hand lettering, but you know, the bullet journal community is really, really focused on improving handwriting and, you know, keeping things crisp and feminine. And you don't have to go the whole drawing artsy fartsy route like I did. You can keep it very minimal, and some of the minimal bullet journals are the prettiest, trust me. If you happen to research on Instagram and see a lot of the minimalist bullet journalists, they're so sweet and fancy. But anyway, here's some more penguins. On the left hand side of the page is my work side, and on the right hand is my personal side. I made little pockets so I have journal prompts every week and I write letters to myself. On the meeting side, on the work side, I have meetings scheduled, and then on the personal side, I keep track of letters to myself, and then some of the things that I'm into, like things that I'm watching, things that I'm listening to, things that I'm reading. And also you'll see my weekend is on this page as well, because the weekend is my personal time. But you see some of the stickers here that I mentioned in the beginning. So I really like the spread. I like this setup, but what I fear the most with this spread is that I'm using up too much paper, and I don't want to have volumes for 1 year of bullet journals. So you'll see that in the future I consolidate a lot of the weeks. But what you're looking at right now is my wellness tracker. I tracked literally every food that I consumed. I have my recipes in the pocket. I keep track of the water, and I know this looks pitiful, but trust me when I say that I never drank water before habitually. The fact that I'm drinking 2.5, 3 glasses of water a day is really, really, really amazing for me. And then I made a mistake. You know, you're going to make mistakes when you do your bullet journal, and that's okay. My mistake was that I didn't put the calendar after my cover for January. So I plopped it in after my second week of progress in January, which is fine. You know, keeping the penguin theme, and I have some goals that I write out for the year. This third week is when I went to Cirque du Soleil. So again, the scrapbooking and memory maker part of it is that I can put in pictures and tickets and things and events that you went to. Continued on with the thread of having the personal and the work side, and then the wellness log with my grocery list and my recipe and my water log. But again, I felt like this is too much paper for 1 week. So in this week that you're seeing here on the page right now, I consolidate everything. I have my mood tracker, I have a weather tracker, and some people use this as a collection, and they have an actual habit tracker in the beginning of their journals to keep track of sleep and workouts and their mood and their weather and things like that, so that can look back throughout the year and see what things triggered other things in your life to make you either happy, sad, or melancholy. I didn't think about doing it this year for me because I just wanted to start off small. And so for me, what was important was being healthier. So that's what I did. I didn't have pockets because I merged everything in one spread. So I used this hard cardstock in the middle as a way to track my journal prompt and my recipe for the week. And then I just taped it in the middle here. I don't know that I necessarily like it because it sticks out on the end a little bit. This next week that we're flipping through is actually last week's spread. I really enjoyed this. I copied this style from a bullet journalist in the community, and it really was beneficial for me. I put my journal prompt letter to myself, just stuck it with washi in the page that's ahead of us, and also the recipe. I did the same thing. So you can see underneath there is a song of the week picker. I tried something new this week. There's a block for things that are happening next week. I have a little bit of a quote to keep me motivated. My water intake was pitiful last week. As you can see, my food tracker, I condensed it, very minimalist. So it was either a good day, a bad day, or an okay day as far as food is concerned. And then I have my weekly meetings, and things are ramping up because work is getting crazy. And then I kept the weather on the other side. So now we're on to February. And again, I'm trying to condense things. So I have my picture that I just signed while I was on camera because it is an original. And then underneath it, I have the month of February. And what I really like about this monthly spread is that I use it also as a cleaning tracker. And I get to schedule what days I clean what room, and it's very helpful for me to stay on task in my house and keep things neat and clean. This particular month, I spelled February wrong. You guys, you see, you're gonna make mistakes on your calendar. Hey, don't hate on me. No judgment. Spelling don't count in your own bullet journal. Oh my goodness. Anywho, I'm gonna speed this part up because I'm actually gonna plan next week's spread with you guys, and we're going to go through it in super fast speed mode. I cannot believe I misspelled February, and what you'll see is I make mistakes all the time, and there's so many different ways to cover up your mistakes. Have your corrected alt tape, or you have ways of covering up with sticky paper, if you have headers that you don't like the way you wrote it, or spelling mistakes. I'm going to go back and I'm going to fix February because completely misspelled. Oh my goodness. I have a ruler, and you'll see that I'll use a ruler in a few minutes, but what I would say is I like the handwritten feel where the lines feel more organic, which reminds me, this is an important place to pause because the bullet journals that are dotted are the best because you don't necessarily need a ruler with them. The dots help guide you, and you can set up, boxes and lines and structure and graphs if you want for your trackers just by connecting the dots, which is so much nicer than graph paper or nothing at all. So I do recommend a dotted journal if you're going to get into this. This particular setup I am actually copying from a bullet journalist who's a minimalist, and she just keeps track of the weather on top, and then she just has the days of the week and one little doodle off to the left, which is what I try to copy here, but I'm actually going to embellish it a little bit more. I'm going to put washi on mine, and I'm actually going to put a pocket in this one because what I'm going to do is in that pocket I'm going to put the letter to myself, the recipe of the week, and also the food tracker in the pocket. So that's what we're going to do. Just notice the mistakes that I do for the most part. I'm really looking forward to this week because it's a brand new spread. It's a different spread. And that's what I really like about bullet journals is that you don't have to keep the same weekly spread week in and week out unless you really like it. I mean, that's the thing. You do you. Whatever is comfortable and best for you. And you're probably thinking, oh, I don't have time to set up things on a weekly basis, but you absolutely do have time. It's just a matter of planning things out. And what I found with keeping myself on task and on schedule and planning ahead is that I'm feel less stressed about things and about life, because I know what day I'm going to do a certain thing. Here you'll see I just made a mistake, but I'm going to fix it with my corrected all tape. So you have tools that you'll be able to use to fix things, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to try things. I'm not particularly excited about the way the spread turned out, but I'm kind of excited about trying this new layout for me, because what I'm finding is that I don't have enough space for the things that I want to keep track of and plan for. So I'm thinking that this gives me a lot more room to just reinvent myself, or, you know, think things through. So I do have a waterlog. I don't know that you can see it because, listen, this is my first time doing live action for you guys. And I know that my camera setup isn't the best and the lighting isn't the best. I really do apologize for that. But I tried my best here. I have a little bit of mood lighting going on. And I tried buying one of those LED lights. You probably can see the stand over to the left-hand side. And then I'm using my phone to record in the top. This is not elegant setup, guys. I apologize. Hopefully it'll get better in the future, but for right now, this is called a poor girl setup, and that's okay, okay? It's just about showing you guys what I do. I'm recording with my phone, and when it records in landscape and not in portrait. And so when I dumped the film into my Adobe, my movie maker thingy, I didn't know how to rotate it. So I figured it out 20 minutes later. No, it wasn't that long. And then it was so dark, and then I had to figure out how to bring up the brightness on the video, and it's just a hot mess. This particular chibi art, this little doodle that I'm drawing in right now, is not my own creation. I found this particular beauty on Pinterest. I find a lot of stuff that I get inspired with on Pinterest. She was so cute. She had a little schoolgirl's outfit. There is a lot of chibi art out there that is like seductive, like almost sensual, which is so weird because chibi, the meaning for chibi, the definition is like a little baby. And so they're supposed to be modeled for like little people, little kids. The last thing I want to see is a little kid looking like a hoe, right? So none of my chibis look scandalicious. They look like super preppy or super adorable and very innocent because they're little kids. You know, they're little people on my paper, and they're modest and pure and all that good stuff. So there's that. We're getting to the tail end of the video here in a second. I make another mistake because I try to bring color into this particular spread, and the ink smudges, so that was no bueno. This is one of my favorite tools, guys. So this is a self-adhesive tape. It's almost like your Correct It All, but instead of fixing things, it tapes things to paper. A lot of people use their bullet journals for watercolor, and believe it or not, the pages are thick enough that the watercolor doesn't bleed through to the next page. So that's also something that if you're into, or if you want to get into, that's something you can do on the paper as well. Some people do it on another paper, and then they use this self-adhesive tape tool, and then they'll tape it to their pages, which keeps everything crisp and clean as well. Off camera, because I'm a noob at this, I'm trying to put in some washi tape at the butt tail end of my paper to kind of decorate things a little bit. And that's, oh, this is so therapeutic, guys. Like, you can pick your color scheme, you can pick your washi tape, you can just go to town with all kinds of different things and, you know, make it girly again, or make it simple if you want. A lot of people use stickers. There's one person I follow on Instagram that has these amazing stickers that he gets on Etsy of women, like really preppy women drinking coffee, and it looks just so Parisian, so classy. It's really, really, really cute. I just got this washi this week, and it's very girly. Look at the glasses and the scarf. Oh, my little pocket. That's where I'm going to put things, and that is it, guys. I think I'm going to go in with some color at the end, but what I want to say is that I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for letting me go outside of the normal on Fridays to share a little bit of my world with you. And if you have any questions on bullet journaling and how you can get started, let me know in the comment feed down below. I'd be so happy to answer your questions and go from there. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye!